Be a part of the best pro wrestling podcast today by supporting the Going In Raw Patreon. You can enjoy access to the live taping of the show, exclusive merchandise, and patron-only episodes, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
This is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw. That sounds terrible.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Marie.
and you are going in Raw.
What's up? It's your girl, Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you are watching Going In Raw.
Oh, baby, I like it raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw. And you are tuned in to Going In Raw right now. How you doing?
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here at youtube.com/Steve and Larson, and available wherever fine podcasts are. Be sure to hit that subscription button. And if you're on the Apple iOS device, it's almost falling apart. It's almost coming off the rails, but it's not. I'm going to tell you.
If I glare at you, will it
that doesn't
bring
help.
it back?
That doesn't help. No, actually, that hurts.
Start a chain reaction.
Be sure to look. If you have a little bit of extra time, leave a review or a rating, like a star rating, and let us know what you guys think. By doing that, it also boosts us in the rankings in the sports and rec category on the audio iOS podcast iTunes thing.
Good job getting things back on course.
Yeah,
Steve.
man. Over the weekend, we were like as high as 148, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I think at this point, because things have died down a little bit, we just posted our SummerSlam review like minutes ago. We're not back up in the top 200, but I feel very strongly, very confident that's going to happen again. We're also on the Patreon at patreon.com/Stephen Larson. We did a public stream today.
As we do every Monday.
We streamed in public today, Larson. Sorry. But the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT 205 live reviews are streamed for our patrons exclusively, and that's at the $5. So $5 a month, you get to hang out with our patrons and us 3 times every single week
for $5 a month.
Yeah, and you get early access to the Going In Raw views, and you get to
that's at $10 though.
You get early access to the Going In Raw views. $10 is voting on those.
There you go, just fell off the rails again.
Yeah, off the rails. Anyways, let's get right into this.
Yeah, we're here to talk about NXT TAKEOVER Brooklyn 3.
Every year it's the same thing. People are like, TakeOver is going to be better than SummerSlam. Look, they're two different things.
Well, I mean, this year that was accurate.
What was more enjoyable? Exactly.
Top to bottom is a much more enjoyable show.
Yeah, it was. I guess that's kind of the only criteria I go by anymore is what did I enjoy more? What did I have more fun watching?
I mean, what other criteria would you apply?
Production. What has the better production? Some people like production, man.
No, I understand that, but it's a wash between TakeOver and SummerSlam.
Well, now that the main roster doesn't have
Pyro,
it's
a wash.
Yeah, it's a wash
because it's the same crew doing production for both shows, the same set.
Yeah,
and actually, I like NXT's graphic packages a lot more than the
they're
main roster.
So good.
Yeah,
I know they are so good.
So I might give the edge in production to NXT.
Yeah, I know they're so good. I like when they do the digitizing.
Yeah,
things.
no, that's great. That never gets old for me.
It never gets old, man. They do it all the time too. It's great. So before we get started, really, we have to give showcase hands to the predictions king. That's me.
Yeah, I after this show, I called myself the George Costanza of wrestling predictions.
Yeah, I saw that.
Whatever I
great.
say, just do the opposite.
Yeah, I know.
And you'll probably be right.
Yeah, I think here's the thing. Whenever you're confident about something, it doesn't happen. Whenever I'm confident about something, it doesn't happen. Because my predictions weren't necessarily confident.
No, after you gave them, you said, I'm probably not going to get any of these right.
Exactly.
You got all of them right.
And I got all of them right. Because I just had a feeling. I think my where I felt strongest was the Johnny Gargano one, which you seem to think was a lock. Because your scenario of him racking up wins until Ciampa, there aren't enough people for that to take place because Ciampa's not going to be back for a very, very long time. So who can he rack up wins? Like they can't just have like 8 months of jobbers and then a couple of like decent guys. Like, okay, he can rack up a win against the Velveteen Dream, Oni Lorcan, They could have found a way to have him beat that what's his name, Lars Sullivan.
None of those are going to happen. Well, Oney Lorcan could happen, but the other two are not going to happen.
You don't think he's going to beat the Velveteen
Not
Dream?
right now. Not if this is the direction they're going in.
Okay. But in your scenario before,
but here's the thing.
In your scenario before,
I don't think no, because I don't think that would have been a match they would have made.
Okay. What matches? Okay, here's the thing though. It's driven by wrestling. What matches did you think they were going to make?
Well, I mean, on NXT TV, he'll have 2 matches a month at most.
Yeah.
And then every quarter there's a takeover. So let's do the math.
Yeah, that's it, dude. That's at least what, like 8 people he has to fight.
No, but you get programs. He's in programs with people.
Yeah, but he's not going to fight the same 2 people in the same month of NXT. They don't really do programs that much. Like, okay, look at the. Okay, let me ask you this: was the Alistair Blackadeo Tommy fight? Was that the build up, or that was a program for NXT? That was a program,
kind of,
and it took place in a parking lot.
Well, over the span of like 2 weeks.
Yeah, so that's NXT's programs.
They do long-term programs.
My thing with Johnny Gargano was simply number one. I mean, I think to his credit, he looks amazing.
Yeah, he looks fantastic.
Like his abs are out of this world.
You can definitely tell that time he had off, he was put to good use.
He's a fantastic wrestler.
He is phenomenal.
Yeah, I just figured that there weren't enough people for him to go down the storyline you were talking about. And on top of that, I just didn't think, like my gut told me they weren't going to go to the same well with Andrade Almas that they already went to. They told a more condensed version of that in the ring during this match. This is a fantastic match.
Yeah, this might be my favorite match of the whole night.
This is a fantastic match. Code Orange actually kicked us off with a performance. I kind of like the Code Orange.
It's fine.
They do a good job of digging out some of these bands. I like it.
Yeah, NXT does a good job with their
I
musical
downloaded
selections.
some Code Orange onto my phone.
A new fan and Steve here.
A new mark.
See, here's the
Code
thing.
Orange.
And I should have thought this through more. My mistake. I didn't. Gargano's promo when he came back, he was like, all right, I'm moving on from this DIY business. New Johnny Gargano. Good stuff in line. And I took him at his word.
Yeah.
And I didn't really think much about it after that. But he's still haunted, it seems, or at least that's the story they're going to push, by the breakup of DIY. I should have thought of that. I didn't. That's on me.
Yeah. Well, I did think of that. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen. No, I just thought that the inverse would happen for you. I thought he would lose a bunch, and then he would come up.
He would be nothing without Tommaso.
Yeah, something like that.
Until he beat Tommaso, and then he beat somebody.
I just thought that they were strong. That I mean, I totally saw your point of view. Like, I mean, I was, like I said, I was not. I did not feel like there was a lock. I was like, you know what? I just get some of these. I just felt it's gut feeling, like AOP versus Sanity. What else is AOP going to do? What are they going to try out another heavy machinery with those guys? It's too early for the Street Profits, so there's nothing else they could do with them. So it's just okay. Well, let's have them chase belts.
Yeah,
that made kind of
on the main roster probably.
Yeah.
This was easily Andrade Almas's best match since he's been in NXT.
Well, and I think it's number one.
It's a testament to Johnny Gargano's wrestling ability.
I think that's sort of the biggest factor. I think after watching Johnny Gargano in 2 singles matches live here in Sacramento, and then here at TakeOver Brooklyn 3, this dude I imagine could wrestle a broom and put on a 4-star match.
Yeah,
he really does. Like I totally understand the nickname Johnny Wrestling at this point, because some of the stuff they were doing, it's always amazing when some people simply feel like they're bringing something fresh to the ring. And I'm not talking about like, oh, did you see that spectacular move he did? It's the way he moves is unlike something I've seen in the WWE. I've seen stuff like this on the indie circuit, Progress, whatever. Yeah. But with Gargano in this match, I was like, they're letting him do some more interesting things that doesn't feel like a WWE style.
I think that was the case for both Gargano and Almas. This was like the first time I've seen an Almas match in NXT where I felt like, oh, we're finally seeing the full breadth of what he can do.
Right. Yeah.
I think whether it be based on how they were trying to portray his character or whatever the reason, that he was only showing off a fraction of what he was really about as an in-ring performer.
Right.
That one spot where Gargano had Almas in the headlock, and he was just floating with
I
him.
love that. That is exactly what I'm talking about.
So smooth, and he makes it look effortless.
That is exactly what I'm talking about in moves that you never just see. You never see in the WWE ring. They need to constantly be bringing in people who will bring some. I mean, you can have, we know that the WWE wants a certain style of wrestling. We understand that.
Well, Vince wants a certain style of wrestling.
Thank you. But you need, at least superficially, because, this story was a story we've seen many times before, on the surface of things. There were story details that are, pertinent to the actual competitors, but it's the little things that can make you feel like, wow, this is something fresh that I'm seeing, that they need to keep on bringing in guys. I'm hoping that's something that they're aiming to do with Lio Rush, who's confirmed signed today. That's the kind of thing that I want to see. Guys who are bringing something that makes the product feel fresh. And I think that with Gargano, we have that.
Yeah.
We
don't want to see every match play out the same way.
Exactly.
We want some different styles, some different approaches.
And one of the guys that I refer to a lot in that regard is Cesaro. Cesaro very often will bring stuff that feels pretty fresh to the ring, and he's one of very few people who do that.
There was a spell where it seemed like every match he was either doing something a bit differently or bringing something entirely new to the table. Yeah. Since he's been tagging with Sheamus, it hasn't really quite been that.
Right.
Since they've really gotten to a rhythm, especially.
But they have really, those two, not too much of a tangent, they've really developed into I think he's been focusing maybe on tag team chemistry because that's been showing.
Yeah, and that's been exceptional. Back to Gargano versus Almas. A lot of really good spots in this match. A lot of really good storytelling. There was a spot where Almas was in Gargano's finisher, the Gargano escape.
That's
And he reversed it into a buckle bomb, so he deadlifted Gargano off the mat.
Right, yeah.
And hit him with a buckle bomb.
It's good.
The finish saw Zelina Vega throw a DIY shirt at Gargano while Almas was on the mat.
That was my only piece of the TV direction needed to be a bit better on that, because she threw it to him, and I know it was a blue shirt and they're the powder blue DIY, but I felt like there could have been a close up on him. Yeah. When he viewed the shirt.
When he caught it, it was still all balled up.
Yeah,
too.
I know.
Unless that's the shirt. It's the story is a bit lost.
Yeah.
And I think it was only afterward that commentary really mentioned.
Well, yeah, Morrow said, "Oh, that might be a DIY shirt." Cool.
Yeah.
Storytelling elements.
So, but anyway, she throws that in the ring. It's enough of a distraction for Gargano that allows Almas to apply the hammerlock DDT, hit it, and score the win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really good match.
Yeah. And we said, not only we had the Gargano stuff going on, we saw sort of the value that, what's her name?
Zelina Vega.
Okay. Thank you. I just know Thea Trinidad. Zelina Vega brings to the table with Almas, and we got to see Almas tranquilo.
The first time he tranquiloed, he snapped out of it real quick.
Right. Exactly.
Second time he did it, he just caught himself, and then Gargano super kicked him.
Exactly. So I like that they're referencing that stuff, but that they're not. The good thing, the thing about NXT is that they don't beat the dead horse.
Oh, I know. I wasn't expecting them to do the Willie Tranquilo or not for 2 months on end. I just thought it'd be a couple more matches till he got the old habits out of him. And established new ones.
They did simply do that for one match.
Yeah, I thought it'd be longer than that.
Yeah. Because it was 6 months of him tranquiloing the shit out of his whole career.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't
quite that. It was just him partying the entire time.
I didn't even think it was 6 months. It just felt that long.
So, hey, Mr. Wait and See. How do you like the story at this point? Because prior to this, when he was just going on partying and not caring about matches, do you appreciate the development that we've seen?
Yeah, that's why I said I was going to wait and see.
Yeah. Otherwise, it was just him partying and not caring.
Yeah, why should I care if he doesn't?
I'll be honest with you. I think I'm going to miss the partying almost.
Maybe he can find a healthy balance.
That's, in
where
life.
There's a time and place to tranquilo, just not in the ring.
In life, you need a healthy balance between tranquilo
and not tranquilo, yes.
And no tranquilo.
So, yes.
I ask myself that all the time, Larson.
Too tranquilo or not too tranquilo is what you ask yourself.
In any situation I'm in, too tranquilo or no tranquilo? Oh, man, moving on. Authors of Pain versus Sanity. Again, this is a match we kind of saw here live in Sacramento. Authors of Pain, here's the thing. As soon as they came, number one, I missed the close-up where you see the turtle heads.
What was in the original Star Trek series?
Yeah.
The alien lizard-looking...
Gorn.
Yeah. They were
Gorn.
Gorn helmets.
They were Gorn helmets. And those pants, everything about them, even there, dude, from head to toe, they were cut. You couldn't see their faces, but you can, in their body language, they had lose face when they came out.
You can tell they were not comfortable in their ring gear update.
The lumbering dinosaur / Ninja Turtle / Battletoad / Gorn face mask thing, helmets thing, and then like the grass green pants.
I couldn't tell, were they camo or did they have like a shimmer to them?
Oh, there was no shimmer. They were matte. They were clothy.
Okay, because it wasn't a flat color.
Yeah, you're right about that. I don't think it was camo though. Maybe there was a shimmer to it. A little bit. It's just, and you could tell like they just didn't look nearly as powerful wearing green screen pants.
Yeah,
and it wasn't quite green screen.
No.
But I could have adjusted the color on my TV, and I could have made it a green screen.
It wasn't quite that bright.
Getting to that point.
It wasn't quite that bright.
Oh, so nasty.
Corey Graves came out to do commentary in this match.
Yeah, they're trotting out all sorts of people here.
It was
what
they call it, the Homecoming, NXT Homecoming. So we had a bunch of NXT alums sit ringside, a bunch of them on the pre-show beforehand.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the things they use to advertise the show.
Are they just going to do that for Brooklyn every year now?
I don't know.
They only have 4 takeovers a year.
I think they're going to have 5 this year.
Because Chicago.
Yeah. The match opened up with a brawl. Mm-hmm. Everybody's just brawling on the outside.
Yeah. I didn't realize that you could legally, if you have a faction, you could legally decide who was going to be in the match based on who gets tagged in first.
Yeah,
so you have 3 guys. And I thought that within universe kayfabe, you had to submit paperwork. Like, okay,
declaring.
Hold on.
I know. You're talking about SummerSlam, right?
They have contract signings.
Yeah.
But no, there's also the declaration you're talking about. But no, they have contract signing. So I figure that, okay, for big matches, they're going to have public contract signing. For smaller matches, they still have to sign contracts.
Yeah.
You still have to sign a contract. Backstage, I would think that contract would have the name of the actual competitors in the match.
Unbeknownst to Paul Ellering, Eric Young negotiated some wiggle room.
That could be.
In the participants clause.
I wanted to decide late in the game. Maybe I'll go. Maybe Damo will go.
But that's what happened.
Either way, my nipples will be very erect.
During the brawl on the outside, Eric Young sets up a table against the barricade. I'm trying to get through this.
This is your fault. Sorry.
Which will come into play later. And then Alexander Wolf starts the match. At no point does Damo tag in. So Eric Young just calls Damo off the apron and hops up himself.
That was great.
And so he's in the match now.
Yeah.
A bunch of brawling. Just goes out in the audience for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Tons of brawling. At one point, Nikki Cross, towards the end of the match, jumps off the top rope while there's brawl going on the outside. One of the authors of pain catches her.
Well, let's just.
There's another spot before this, too, that was awesome.
Go ahead.
When the authors of pain, one of them was setting up Eric Young for a superplex. Mm-hmm. The other one went underneath the first authors of pain to powerbomb him during the superplex. Nikki Cross jumps up and grabs Eric Young's leg to hold him down. And so one of the authors of pain powerbomb each other.
Jimmy powerbomb Jay. Exactly.
Yeah.
Jimmy Payne and Jay Payne.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That was spectacular. And then the look of glee. Nikki Cross is a treasure.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
She's an absolute treasure. The look of glee on her face when she decides she's going to launch herself from in the ring to the outside the ring. She starts taking off like her long coat thing or vest or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And she takes that off, and Ellering gets in the ring and gets in her way, and she starts flipping out like, get out of the way, get out of the way. She eventually makes her way up to the top, goes down onto one of the authors of pain. And then Damo, he's holding her, about to like do something.
Yeah.
And Big Damo launches into him.
Fun splashes him.
Was it through the table? Because, Eric Young had set up a table.
Yeah. So all of them go through the table.
Oh, man.
That was awesome.
Crowd is going insane. So much fun. I was marking out so hardcore. It was fantastic. That led to the rest of Sanity, Alexander Wolf, who, by the way, had a great moment of moshing towards the beginning. It was fantastic. I really hope that's one of the taunts in 2K18.
Oh, yeah.
And so they were able to play the numbers game on the remaining author of pain.
And they hit like a belly-to-back suplex neckbreaker combo.
Yeah.
Alexander Wolf scored the pin. Sanity, new tag team champions.
Stand tall with those tag team championships.
Until
we got to Dragon again. I want to say a huge shout out to everybody who warmed our hearts by tweeting at us, "Oh my God, they're dragoning again." This is an in-joke that I'm very, very happy with.
I know.
Very happy with it.
Redragon, the reformed Redragon, or NXT to Dragon again. Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly.
Yep.
They lay out Sanity.
Oh my goodness.
Hold up those titles.
Very cool.
Another thing I didn't
Very
think
cool.
about in predictions, we all thought Adam Cole would debut.
Yeah.
I didn't expect him, and I thought that Fish and O'Reilly would be the stable with him when we've been here talking about Ring of Honor stable happening. I thought they'd be a thing. I expect them to necessarily make their presence known at TakeOver. B, get shot directly into title contention.
I know. Because
that changed a lot of what happened on the card.
Oh yeah.
They obviously have high hopes for those three guys.
Yeah.
So much so they're completely reshuffling the roster to make it happen.
I know. It's exciting. I figured that it would be some sort of Adam Cole. I know you're still. It's going to be interesting how they use this, how they play this up. But I figured it would be something with Adam Cole and Roderick Strong.
I thought that too.
I figured that'd be the case. And,
especially.
and I think that's still going to happen.
Yeah.
I think at TV we're going to get that this week. Next up, at TV tapings, we all know we're going to get this week on NXT TV.
Recap.
Exactly.
With 2 matches
It's
shot
a very
before
light
TakeOver.
episode this week, people. All right. Although, Leo Rush probably going to go to the Performance Center for a month.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he goes to NXT or 205 Live.
I don't know.
So I thought maybe that's why they had Tozawa drop the belt to Neville.
Boy, that'd be interesting if they brought him up in that manner. That'd be pretty interesting.
Next, Hideo Itami versus Alistair Black.
This was just brutal.
Hard hitting.
This is just like kicks and blood.
I mean, that's what they set
kicks.
up the story of the match is who could strike better.
Yeah.
And that's what it was.
Yeah. The answer obviously was Alistair Black. He went over. We saw this coming. Jim Ross was on commentary. Jim Ross kind of sounded like he was video game Jim Ross. Like a lot of his stuff kind of sounded a bit on the generic side, a little bit. I love Jim Ross. You
Me
love
too.
Jim Ross.
Yeah.
We love Jim Ross. We want him to do well. He has in my heart, he has an open invite. There is, I didn't watch his commentary in Axis when I understood it was not ideal.
Yeah.
But,
I thought he did okay during the Reigns Undertaker match.
Yeah, I thought
At
it was fine.
WrestleMania,
It was
fine.
Jim Ross is like a warm blanket.
Yeah.
It really is. I don't really care if we don't know which of the Briscoes is which. If I hear him talk, I'm happy.
Yeah. But yeah, this was a hard-hitting match. Pretty early on, Alistair Black was busted open.
Yeah.
Bleeding from his nose.
Yeah,
By
it
and large,
looked so cool on him. Oh, and of course he came out, Code Orange and Guy from Incendiary,
Yes.
sang his theme song. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was good.
I thought it was really good.
As we said, a lot of striking in this match, not a whole lot else. Although Alistair Black did hit his blind salt essentially on Tommy, and Tommy hit a top rope Falcon Arrow.
Yeah.
At one point, that was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
But and at one point, Tommy goes for the GTS. Alistair elbows his way out of it, and eventually hits Black Mass for the win.
Yeah, sort of saw that coming from a ways off, but what are you gonna do? You can't have intrigue in every single match. I think they've got pretty high hopes for Alistair Black.
Oh yeah, that seems obvious, and there's a very palpable buzz about him.
Oh yeah.
We went to the house show.
Oh yeah, big time.
That's just
His
going through the audience and hearing people around us talk. It was largely about him.
His merch is selling out like crazy. Yeah.
It's good looking stuff.
Oh yeah, it is really good looking stuff. Next up, we had this was a shocker, and it wasn't even the outcome necessarily that was a shocker. It was that Asuka kicked out of an Eclipse.
That was really shocking.
That was absolutely shocking. I already did that.
Okay.
Ember Moon versus Asuka. They were my only hesitation. So I picked Ember Moon to win this.
You picked Asuka to win it.
Who did I pick? Oh, I picked Asuka to win it. You picked Ember Moon to win this. They were hyping this match up so much, but if Asuka loses, it's got to be the main event.
Yeah.
It's got to be the main
No,
event.
I thought that too. Yeah.
Yeah. But that being said, they did everything to make it seem like the outcome was in doubt here.
Yeah.
I think they really did, preceding it. I loved, I don't know if she's done this before. I don't know because I haven't noticed. But when the ring announcer was, doing the introductions
yeah.
and she started lip reading it very obnoxiously, Asuka did that. I was in love. I thought that was awesome. I thought it was so great. She's just so full of herself as a character. It's fantastic. And she absolutely resides above heel face.
Oh,
the crowd was so into her. And Ember Moon on her intro got some boos. They have not done a good enough job convincing people that this is the person that should get it.
I know.
They just haven't. And honestly, I think it's, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if maybe they felt that, okay, let's take a look at her. Let's see what she can do in the ring. Okay, let's do the Mystique thing. And then maybe when they saw her natural charm,
They decided to make her relatable.
it threw them off.
Could be.
And it's like, well, let's see if we can do both things. And they've done neither thing very well.
I know.
Let's try to have her be
You
this
know.
intense, mystique-filled person, and at the same time have her be down to earth. You can't really
Can't have it both
both
ways unless there's a storyline behind it,
Yeah.
similar to Finn Balor and Demon Balor.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Like, walking through the Performance Center, Ember Moon is totally relatable.
Mm-hmm.
She walks through that curtain,
Yeah.
and it's almost like she is a completely different person.
Yeah.
If that was a storyline, then yeah, it would work. But it's not the storyline.
Right. Exactly.
And maybe this is a situation where on main, on the right show in the right creative hands,
Yeah.
they could develop the Mystique aspect and focus on that.
Here's the thing. If you think about it, it's kind of scary because it feels like she's already being handled by main creative.
I know, kind of.
It feels like the kind of thing, oh man, remember when she was hot in NXT and then she got to creative? It's like Bayley again.
Yeah, I know.
But she's still in NXT.
But I will say this. In NXT, Demon Balor was kind of not really explained.
Yeah.
It was just an idea that he would do that to intimidate his opponents. Got to main, they developed the backstory. Whether
Right.
you like that, not something else, but they added a layer to the Balor character. Maybe they can do the same with her on main. I don't know.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I think one thing is I think that the main roster for her will be a reset button.
Yeah.
And I think it's a much needed reset button. They can maybe figure out the logistics of how they're going to handle her from scratch,
Yeah, and she's already fantastic, and they haven't fully tapped her potential yet.
Oh, she was ready for main the second she stepped in.
So once they find a way to approach her character and they put it all together, she's going to be phenomenal. Early on the match, Ember got the early advantage. She came out on fire right away.
Yeah.
Taking the action to Asuka. Eventually, Asuka turns the table, starts working the injured left arm, the left arm that was injured.
Yeah.
There's this great spot where they were like doing dueling Asuka locks.
Yeah.
One put one in the Asuka lock and then reverse it.
Yeah.
That was great. And then like 2/3 of the way through the match, Ember Moon hits an Eclipse and Asuka kicks out.
That
Shocking.
was shocking.
They spent so much time building up the Eclipse as like a move that put people in the hospital.
I know.
And Asuka just kicks out of it.
I know. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. The crowd was
gasped.
stunned. They gasped. They really did.
Ember Moon goes up for another Eclipse, and Asuka puts the ref in between her and Ember Moon.
Right.
Ember Moon does a splash instead, hits crossbody, and then Asuka reverses it into a roll-up, grabs the tights, tries to get the pinfall. Ref sees the handful of tights, stops the count.
Yeah.
So, again, Asuka cutting some corners in an attempt to beat Ember Moon.
Yep.
At the end, Asuka reverses a pin attempt right into the Asuka lock. It was like the most seamless transition I've ever seen.
Great.
So fast.
It was great.
And Moon eventually has to tap out.
Going to main. Yeah, I don't know.
But then again, there's story here for them to have another match.
Well, okay.
If they want to say, if Ember Moon wants to come out and say, again, you had to cut corners to beat me.
What, they're going to have a third match?
I know.
You know?
I don't necessarily think it makes sense, but
I would
they could if they
I would
wanted to.
suggest this. I would say that the story wouldn't be that. I would say the story would be, this is the first time in this opponent through 2 matches that you've needed to cut corners. Because I think right now the story has to be all about Asuka. Ember Moon is fine. She can go to main, do whatever.
Yeah.
She's gone. She's tapped out. Once you tap out, you're done. Okay. So then Asuka comes up against somebody like, okay, it's not going to be her, but like, what's her name? That big German,
I know who you're talking
Jazzy
about.
Gaber.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not going to be her, but somebody who presents an equal but different challenge to Asuka. So she has to go through, she's cleared the field, but she keeps on being presented with people who are just a bit more challenging, a bit more challenging until finally it's kind of like the Okada thing. You know what I mean? It's like
It's a battle of attrition,
it's a
essentially.
battle of attrition. Thank
Yeah.
you. Exactly. Until she finally, and it's not because at her best she would be better, but she's so beat down that eventually somebody catches her.
Yeah.
If they're going to have her lose, which after this, I'm not so sure that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought Ember Moon was probably the best contender
Yeah, absolutely.
to beat her that's currently on NXT.
Yeah.
And it seems like if they're not going to go with that any longer, they kind of have to start fresh with. That's why I've been saying for a while. I think if Kairi Sane wins the Mae Young Classic, that either she'll get the title shot, or say Asuka moves up to Maine, vacates the title, and they can say, okay, whoever wins the Mae Young Classic, now you're the NXT Women's Champion.
Oh, I would say let's,
Although the time frame for the latter situation to happen is pretty small now, because I think the finals for the Mae Young Classic September 12th. It's less than a month away, so Asuka's not going to vacate the title.
So we haven't had any word they're going to do this. If it was Steve in charge, I would say over on NXT, let's have a mini women's tournament, because obviously there's not 32 people there. Let's have a women's tournament there to declare the NXT challenger, and then the Mae Young Classic, whoever wins that will be the Mae Young Classic challenger, and have those two people fight for the vacated title. I think that'd be great, because you don't want to leave out the NXT women's division in terms of getting a shot. But yeah, that kick out of the Eclipse, I was pretty stunned. And in our main event, we had Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Roode, the NXT champion. No shenanigans. No Roderick Strong.
No.
Triple threat.
No.
Straight up Drew McIntyre. In fact, Roderick Strong, you saw him pretty early up there in the luxury box with
Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle.
Both Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan were in a box.
And the iconic duo were like chatting
talking
up Daniel
with
Bryan.
Yeah. Very early on, Bobby Roode starts working over Drew McIntyre's neck. Now, Drew has, I think when he was in WCPW, like really injured his neck.
Oh, no kidding.
I don't know if he broke it, but it was something really bad. Commentary didn't mention that I remember.
Yeah.
That he had a significant neck injury at some point, which made sense why Bobby would go after it.
Yeah.
In terms of the story of the match. This is a pretty typical Bobby Roode match. Focused exclusively on storytelling, not fast paced. Not to say it was slow, because it wasn't.
Right. Bobby looks like $1 million.
Yeah, he does. He carries himself like $1 million too. He's so good.
Yeah, he is.
Drew hits Future Shock. Bobby kicks out. Drew hits Claymore. Bobby gets his foot in the ropes and rolls out of the ring. And then Drew hits a Tope Con Hilo. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think a guy of that size could do that kind of stuff.
I know.
He was incredible. Bobby hits a glorious DDT. Drew kicks out. Bobby hits a second one, then tries for a third, and then Drew reverses with a headbutt, hits the Claymore. New NXT champion.
Claymore is a Scottish sword.
It's a sword.
As well as
a
mine from Call of Duty, exclusively to the Call of Duty franchise.
Yes.
And then Shock to Dragon again comes in.
They're just hanging out in the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
In the corner.
Yeah, that's right. They come up. They just sort of.
And then you hear an eruption from the
crowd.
crowd.
Oh, yeah.
People know what's going on.
Yep.
And it just kind of it builds and builds and builds and builds until I assume he jumps the barricade, gets in the ring. Adam Cole, baby! Beats down Drew McIntyre. Dragon again, hold him up. Super kick.
Yep.
Adam Cole grabs that NXT title.
Looks at it.
Looks at Drew, throws it on the mat.
Yep.
They pose over him.
Yep.
Afterwards, WWE.com exclusive, top of the ramp, the most emphatic, passionate, Adam Cole, baby! Probably ever heard.
Oh, it was that dude was. I am here, man.
He was hype.
Cole Adams, baby. Oh, look, it's Cole Adams. It's Cole, Adams.
Well, no, Morrow said something like, Adam Cole is making an emphatic statement, baby. Like he almost asked it like a question.
Extreme
I know.
Championship, baby.
So we all knew Adam Cole was probably going to show up at TakeOver. I don't know if the odds were on a seat ringside.
Yeah.
But he definitely made his intentions known, what his plan was going forward.
Yeah, man.
Which is exciting.
Very exciting, man.
I brought this up to you. The only concern I have, and I guess it's somewhat mitigated by the fact that he has Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly at his side,
Yeah.
is that there is a pretty massive size disparity between Adam Cole.
None of them are over 6 feet tall.
I thought Adam Cole was 6 feet tall.
I think he's 5'11".
Oh, okay. I'm just going by that Suplex Apparel T-shirt, the mugshot one, where it looks like he's 6 feet tall.
Oh, okay.
But I could be wrong.
I like his Twitter handle is Adam Cole Pro.
Yeah. So, I mean, numbers game can kind of mitigate the huge size disparity.
5'11", 210.
Okay. So there's about 6-inch height difference and probably about 50 pounds.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, Adam Cole's a really good wrestler. He's great on the mic.
Mm-hmm.
Having Fish and Kyle O'Reilly with him can help him win matches against larger opponents because there's the potential he'll need it. My only worry is I don't want him booked like a cowardly heel.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't mind Fish and O'Reilly getting involved and helping him, but at the end of the day,
they can't be the Singh brothers.
yes,
Right.
they can't be J&J Security.
Right, exactly. Now, so there's another question here something we haven't really seen in NXT, which would be pretty interesting. What if they went, I'm going to say full NWO?
Oh, like an invasion angle?
But what if they bring in Donovan, what's his name, Donovan Dijak, and War Machine to bolster him? I mean, I know it's getting ridiculous, and I'm not even sure NXT could pull that off, nor would I necessarily want them to. But if anybody could pull it off,
Yeah.
that could be really,
It would
really
make for an interesting story.
It would.
And of course, there would be some,
Intergroup conflict.
well, I was
there.
going to say some legal stuff they'd have to work out beforehand. They can't straight up say, hey, we're from Ring of Honor, we're invading NXT because you're encroaching on our turf or something like that.
Yeah,
you know?
no, absolutely.
They can't be that obvious about it.
Yeah.
But if it's a situation where it's like, okay, we all work together.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to bring whatever to NXT
Yeah.
because we think what we do is better than what NXT does.
Yeah,
If they keep
strength in numbers.
general like that.
It could be as simple as, like you said, we work together. We're a close group, and we're here to make sure that we're on top.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what better way to make a statement is, is a strength in numbers thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make it simply that, that simple. They don't have to say, "Hey, we're
allude
part."
to
you don't.
Ring of Honor,
Yeah, you don't
but
want
not
them
mention by
saying,
name. No,
"Hey,
not
we're
at all.
part of Ring of Honor. We're invading." You can't be doing that.
You can't be doing that. You can't do it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Not good.
Can't do it.
So yeah, no. Again,
Top to bottom, fun show,
fantastic,
awesome matches.
fantastic takeover, just a lot of fun. People asking us, they're saying, hey, why didn't you guys live stream this as well? There's only so much time in the day, and unless you want us to be exhausted to the point of we're not entertaining anymore,
Or we don't enjoy our work.
yeah, exactly. I prefer just watching this by myself on my couch.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Exactly. So, good stuff. That's all we got.
Yeah.
That's our review there.
This is already our third video of the day. We got one more to do.
Enjoy. Till next time, I'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.